Everyone. Today we will explore how AI can automatically clean your health datasets when guided by a well-structured prompt. I will also be able to show you a simple formula to get accurate and consistent results. Most people don't know that AI tools like Cloud or ChatGPT are not search engines, like the way Google is or like the way we take Google. Because they don't simply look up information, they reason based on what you tell them. So because of that background, you need to guide the AI clearly to get useful results. So the key focus here is, how do you learn, or how do you train yourself to be able to communicate effectively to AI to give you the desired results. And also the quality of your output depends on how precisely you communicate your request. And most importantly, before using AI, you should have basic knowledge of your subject matter or your field. So what we call your niche, your area of focus. Because AI works best when you bring your own expertise and let it help you to multiply your productivity. So, as we mentioned earlier, our learning will focus on how to communicate effectively with AI to help us clean these data sets. So we're here looking at the building blocks. So we're first going to give you some of the key elements that you're supposed to look into when you're coming up with a prompt to guide AI to give you the results that you want to look at. So before we get started with our cleaning, we must build a clear prompt. This formula that I'm about to show you ensures that AI understands your expectation and cleans data accurately. So a good prompt gives AI direction. It tells who it should be and what it should do, how to do it, and what to avoid. So we will do these steps by steps using what we call the 5 key parts as you look on the screen. So the first one is looking at the role, context, task, format, and parameters. So when you're doing your prompt engineering, you should be able to put all this together. You should put your role, put the context, the background of what AI should be able to know, the task, the format, and the parameters. So we are going to be able to discuss each role in depth. So let's deep dive into our first. Our first element is looking at role. So role is mainly who the AI should be. So defining your role helps AI to adapt the right professional mindset. Without it, it will behave like it's a general chatbot instead of a specialized assistant. So when assigning a role, don't just say you are ChatGTP or you are so and so or stuff like that, but rather you have to be very specific. You need to tell AI exactly who it is and what expertise it has. And you should be able to even give you your experience in terms of the length of work, or the length of years you've been able to work in this subject matter, or in this domain. So for example, we are going to clean our data set using this tool, so we need to be able to guide. So looking at these examples, which also later we'll be able to integrate it into our prompt to support our data cleaning. So here you'll create a prompt looking at it in a way that you describe. As we said, you are a data cleaning assistant. So you're giving it who you are. You're specializing in COBOL Collect and ODKX based public health data set. So you're giving the background of your expertise. You can also go ahead and give it, maybe you would say, I have about 15 years of experience in this area. So this instantly gives you, or gives AI, a clear identity And it also gives it an area of expertise and the lens through which it should be able to operate. So next, we will be looking at what we called the context. So context is merely giving the background. So here, always provide background. So AI understands where the data comes from and why it's being cleaned. So context improves relevance and precision. So you need to help the AI understand the situation. So providing background information so that it knows the purpose and environment of the task. So a good example of that is of the context is in this in this task that we're looking into is this data set comes from field surveys and includes respondent data, enumerators notes, and system metadata. So this context that we are writing or giving instruction to AI helps the AI makes a smart, informed decision when cleaning your data set. Okay. Next is we're looking at the objectives. So objectives here is mainly to tell AI exactly what to do. So when you clearly define what to do, you reduce your chances of giving a broader area for AI to be able to look into. So precise instruction makes AI follow your steps exactly. So here's where you clearly describe or the job that needs to be done. But the key things you need to take note is usually you use strong action verb when giving AI objectives. So these verbs like clean, analyze, develop, or optimize. So a good example will be uh, when I upload a data set, clean it by removing enumerator information, dropping unnamed columns, and converting numeric fields to numbers. You can also go ahead and say change maybe M to male. So all this depends on your data sets. And it's also good practice before even you engage AI, you need to explore your data set. So when you're exploring your data set, you'll be able to clearly see some of the common data quality issues. So you might find it has to do with spellings, it has to do with other information are not in full, they've given a short format. So all these are areas to be able to use to guide AI. So be clear, use a step by step. So this drives accuracy in your AI output. Next, we are looking at what we call the format. So format, this usually looks at how you want the output to look like. So telling AI the expected format ensures you get usable results, whether in Excel, CSV, or table. It saves your work time. So always you should be able to tell the AI how the results should look like. It should be, like I mentioned earlier, it should be in a table format or CSV, summary, or structured list. Now, for instance, we are saying return clean dataset in Excel format with the same column structure and order as original. This avoids confusion and ensures the output is ready to use immediately. So now this is what you're able to give AI in terms of the desired output you're looking into. The last one is we're looking at what we call the parameters. So these are mainly look at you're supposed to set the rules and boundaries. So these are what we call the guardrails that keep AI from breaking your data set. You're giving it constraints to ensure accuracy and data integration or data integrity as well. So finally, you're supposed to add the rules. You add a bit of limitation. So this keep the AI focused and prevent it from changing things you want to preserve. Do not. So one of the examples that we can pick out of this is things like Do not modify valid survey response. Do not rename or reorder the columns. You can tell it to maintain the metadata fields. This ensures consistency and reproducibility. So you should be able to reproduce it at a certain point of time. And also it will build your trust in the results when it comes out. All right, so here's a complete prompt following the formula. So note how each part, role, context, test, format, parameters fits together logically. So now that we know the formula, the role, the format, the task as mentioned, we can now combine them into one structured data cleaning prompt. So as you look at these, you'll see that actually when we got the first one, let me just get this. So here is what we call, this is part of the role. You're giving a role to, we're just wrapping up. So you're giving your role as a data cleaning assistant for Kobo Collect. You can also go ahead, as mentioned earlier, to add in your years of experience and stuff like that. So the next one, you move on to the context. You're giving it the description of the data. This data includes field responses and metadata type. And then you move into the task. So when you're instructing that when you upload this data set, it should be able to remove this information that you don't want, drop certain fields, column, convert certain numbers into numerical, and also be able to keep certain metadata intact. And then you move on to what we call the format. So format, this is what you want AI to give you in terms of the output. So you're telling it to return the clean data set in an Excel format, should be able to maintain the same data frame structure. And then lastly, you give it what we call the parameters in terms of telling it not to do things like, do not modify valid responses, do not reorder, and stuff like that. So here we've come to the end of our background settings. So the next, we are going to move on into the practical component. So now, how do we bring this prompt that we've created into ChatGPT and be able to import our data sets and move on with our cleaning? So the main goal for this session was to automatically clean data set using AI. So we needed to first give you, how do you train, or how do you talk to AI to give you the exact results? So AI, you remember, is like our personal assistant. So it needs to be guided with the right information to give you what you want. So in the next sessions, we are just going to get into the practical component. So let's move. All right, so now that we are done with our background on how to be able to come up with a prompt. So now the next step is for us now to dive into action. So we are going to look at the data set. So as I mentioned earlier, you should be able to first explore the data set, be able to examine, know exactly what are the common data quality issues. So like for this case, when you look at the sex, you realize that there's F and M, female and male, and then there are those that are written in full, like female, and also you see there are some instances where they have also written male. So as you move, so you see here, they also like male, like that. You also realize that there are other areas where, okay, when you move the side, so there are some parts where these organization names are written in short format. There are those that are in given it the full format. So you should also be able to instruct the AI to be able to change from short format to long format as well. And then other things, especially the columns, you should be able to delete things that doesn't make sense. So this is just a brief example of what needs to be clean. But of course, you can expand on your, your areas of cleaning. So let's first make sure we be able to see the columns. So you'll find here in the mark scores, you might find if there are some people who have entered uh, numbers in terms of text. So there are many areas that you can be able to, guide AI in your context. So now this is our data set. So we are done with examining the data set. So now let's go to our prompt and see what it is. So I've just typed it here, but still it's following the same elements that we looked at in our previous session. So here you talk about you are a data cleaning assistant for COBOL dataset. We can also add maybe with 15 years of experience. Okay. In data engineering. Okay. All right. So the data includes these meta responses. So you're giving it a background, and then you're saying when I upload. So you say when I upload data set, remove all enumerator information, drop columns, name columns, convert numeric fields to numbers, change the organization, let's say from KDP to this full name, these other organizations to this, and then make them all be title case, change F to female and M to male for the sex of the caregiver. So you need to understand the data elements. So what your output would be, you need to return a clean data set in Excel format, maintaining the same structure. So you're giving it the parameters, do not modify valid responses or reorder the column. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this prompt, and then we go to our chart and be able to paste. All right, so at this point, I can choose to copy and paste my dataset or be able to upload. So depending on what account you're using, so for those who are using the basic account, you can paste directly in this in this column. But let's try the other option of uploading. So I'm going to click on this plus sign, and then I go and look for our data set. So here is our data set, open. So wait for it to go. Then I hit the search button. So it's going through, it's running. All right, so it's just confirming to follow this. Change the standard caregiver. So please, okay, upload. You can maybe they send the file. I've already done the upload. So maybe I needed to give more instructions that the file has already been uploaded. But let's go ahead and upload. So you can do it whichever way. So let's do it again. Upload, and then run. Okay, so here it still is running through the background, so giving you analyzing and be able to come up. So it's saying your data set is ready. So it's giving you to click here to download, remove. So what is giving you what it has done, this the cleaning steps applied, remove all. It has removed all these, it has dropped these, it has converted numeric field to actual numbers. It has standardized KDP to this, CODEV to this. So all these other parts, and also has added, the title cases. It has standardized these. It kept the metadata and stuff like that. So here we can click on download and then be able to explore the dataset. So let's open. All right. Okay, so this is our new, the final clean datasets. So to get started is you need to look at those fields, especially, okay, let me be able to filter. And then use the filter option. That's okay. So female here, so we don't have any F or M, so everything is intact. So remember, there were also other areas that we looked at in terms of changing. So remember that one was in small letters, so they were able to, also get in there. Okay, so get into this. All right. So this is your clean data set. So you're supposed to be able to review. And if you find other things are still missing, you again go back and keep on re-examining and refining your prompt. So you might find maybe you need to add in another definitions here to be able to do further cleaning. Yeah, so you should be able to get them off in a very short period of time. So thank you. With this, we've come to the end of our session. Over.